Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So in today's video I'm going to talk about it's very essential for us to pay attention on how others are treating us, and I'll tell you why. See, often what happens is that we feel bad, we feel miserable, at how people treat us or how people behave with us. But you need to understand that their behavior is basically a reflection of who they are. Their immaturity, their low self-esteem, their low confidence, their low growth, depth and maturity. So they are low in a lot of aspects, and maybe that is the reason, or most probably that is the reason why they behave in a weird way with you. They might be lying to you, they might be trolling you, criticizing you, foul mouthing you, fighting with you, arguing with you, going to any extent and doing whatnot. So we do feel bad. It's a human nature that we do feel bad, we do feel betrayed, we do feel cheated, we do feel miserable. But in a way, if you see, it's us to an extent who's responsible, because we are feeling that way, because we are expecting others to be the way how we are. We are expecting others to be a copy of us, emotionally, mentally, physically, psychologically, spiritually. In a lot of ways we expect them to behave in the same way, whereas when these are not the same, what are you expecting from someone else? We all are different, and you never know, you might be matured in your action and behavior, but you might be dealing with a mature looking person who might be not more than a 2-year-old undisciplined kid on the inside. So this primarily happens because first, we rush into relationships. Second, we don't understand emotions and how to navigate them. And third is that we are unable to self-regulate. And because of these problems, we get into relationships, we hurry into relationships, and we don't feel good because the other person behaves in a different way. So it all comes back to you. And now these people, those mature looking adults who are undisciplined 2-year-old inside, can be very toxic, can be very chaotic, erratic in their behavior and action, and it's absolutely fine. They are the way they are. You need to understand that you can't change anyone. Change is a conscious process, and a person does the change himself or herself. You can't force change, so you should not be responsible for that person to change. You should not keep holding yourself responsible to change that person because you felt miserable and now you want to counsel and now you want to change that person. No, you can't. If the person doesn't want to change, if the person doesn't know who he or she is on the inside, how can you expect the person to change? You might bring about some change, but those changes won't last because it is not through experience and it is not through maturity. It's through force. So those changes are very superficial and it fades with time. So and again these people start behaving miserably with you again, and you feel hurt and you feel disrespected, you feel betrayed. If you need to understand things from their point of view, that for them lying is okay because they are immature, for them betraying is okay because they are immature, for them foul mouthing and smearing is okay because they are immature. they don't have empathy, or they don't have emotional maturity where they understand and they have compassion towards another person. They have got underdeveloped emotions. These people, they have underdeveloped emotions, and because of that they are unable to cope up. They are unable to behave properly how a human should behave. So the only way what you can do in order to avoid experiencing what you're experiencing, the miserable state, is that you need to either leave their company, stay away from such toxic people, and if some of these traits are there in any of the relatives, I would still advise stay away from such people, stay away from toxic people, because they need to change. You can't force them to change. Or else, if a relationship is very complex where you can't just leave that person, what you can do is that you can start creating boundaries. So you identify what your standpoint is in terms of intelligence, in terms of maturity, emotional maturity, and you need to identify them also, how mature they are or how immature and irrelevant they are. And then you need to just not get into those discussions which they don't have clarity on. So if they are not mature, they would not understand much of things. They would not have compassion towards others. They would not have emotional maturity. They would not have sensitivity, and they would not have overall clarity, because they are immature inside. So then you need to avoid all those topics and all those domains and areas, so you won't get into conflicts in argument, in action. So just keep the domains separate. Don't get into arguments. Don't expect the person to understand the way how you see things. No, it's absolutely impossible. So don't engage too much. Just draw a healthy boundary. Stay in your limits and let that person stay in limits. Don't get into discussions or arguments or actions or behavior that creates a conflict, because you know where you stand and you know where the other person stands, and that is what your maturity is, to avoid the immaturity, to avoid someone who is not that mature to engage into such subjects and topics. So it's okay, let them be the way how they are, and create a boundary. And if things really go toxic, if things really go very dysfunctional and suffocating for you, then you have to just quit. You have to quit in order to save yourself. You can't save the other person. And you can't keep on saying that you are trying to save that other person so that the relationship is saved. You have to let go of such people, those who have not developed and matured, because it comes with time. Hardly people spend time with their own self. They are all the time distracted. They are all the time looking to ways to kill their loneliness. So it's always this hustle bustle that is that surrounds a person, and a person never really gets time. And there are a lot of factors, sometimes genetics, upbringing, society, schooling, their mental health. A lot of things can be the factor. So you can't really do much about it. The person can only fix himself or herself. So the best way is to draw a healthy boundary, stay away from toxic people, and I think it's very easy. It's very easy to identify and understand toxicity, and that is the way how a person behaves with you, the way how a person engages with you, and the way how a person communicates and gets involved with you. That's a clear indication where that person is in reality. So you need to see things through your practical eyes rather than an emotional eyes, because at the end you will feel the burnt out if you don't know where, you know, to draw the line and create a healthy boundary. So yes, start paying attention to how people treat you, and that is enough. If you closely observe, that is enough for you to know where to draw boundaries and whom to, you know, just say goodbye, and how you need to you know, safeguard yourself. Avoiding toxicity doesn't mean that you know, you are scared and you're coward. Avoiding toxicity is basically to save your own self. Avoiding toxicity is because you can't change a person who is toxic until unless he or she doesn't want. So the best way is to avoid such people, such companies, such relationship. If relationship is something that you can't avoid, then create a healthy boundary. But otherwise, you really can't carry on, you know, with toxic relationships. Toxic relationships doesn't let you grow. It keeps on, you know, making you feel miserable. It keeps on making you confused about your very own existence and self. So it's always better to say goodbye to toxic relationship, and just see and observe how people treat you, and trust me, that is enough for you to understand and how you need to plan things, you know, with that person. And they do teach a lot. One of the most important thing these immature people teach you is that you don't need them. They can't be of any help to you. They will just be of one help, is to make you feel miserable, is to make you feel reminded of all the failures. That's all the best what they can do and give you. So it's up to you what you want. Yeah, so 5 fingers are not the same, so don't stress over. Healing is a very conscious process, and the way how a person behaves with you, you need to just wake up, understand, and, you know, just get over with it. Toxic people don't deserve space in our life. So yes, give value and respect your own self, respect your own mental peace and freedom, respect your individuality, and live life in a happy way. And remember, you are the best, and keep moving forward. It's a beautiful life ahead. So till then, please take care of yourself, and if in case you would want to add in some points, you can always comment below. Lots of love and blessing. Bye.